Hello, this is Angela with Parker's Permaculture. I was just out feeding the poultry their afternoon snack and I'm getting ready to go for a walk. It is a gray, chilly day here in Portland, Oregon in Zone 8B. Almost everything is still dormant and there's not a lot going on other than seeds starting in the house and some residual pruning that I need to take care of out here. As you can see behind me, haven't done my kiwi pruning yet for the winter. That's going to happen very soon. I have been doing some yard work in the form of digging up and moving things. I'm going to be making some big changes. As some of you know, I made a video earlier where I talked about wanting to do more rainwater catchment, and that has been a little slow in coming, mostly because figuring out how to get very large containers here is something that is stretching both my time and my budget. And it's not the purchasing of the containers, it's getting them delivered. That is pretty cost prohibitive. But I am in the process of moving some large plants that either have outgrown their space or our needs for the space are changing. Part of that is for rainwater catchment. Oops, sorry, my neighbor's heater's kicking on. And part of that is because we want to make changes in how we utilize different parts of the garden. So with the help of my husband, we got my really large aronia berry right out our back door dug up, and also the purple robe locust. And I'm going to work on removing a few other things or just shifting them around, including one of the large roses in my garden. So digging up mature plants with a large root ball is a pretty significant task to undertake. And while plants are dormant and the ground is not frozen, that can be a good time.
We dug out the purple robe locust in my front yard. This was a nurse tree for my pawpaws when they were little, but they are now moving into the canopy layer. And it's time to cycle out this tree before it gets too large and takes over the space. Purple robe locusts are a vigorous leguminous nitrogen fixing tree. You can see here there are roots running everywhere, and we need to keep an eye on the fact that after we dig up the stump, there can be suckers coming up from any little leftover bits of root in the ground. So I'm going to have to be keeping an eye on that for a while.
Other than that, I've mostly been working on splitting firewood. Someone in our neighborhood, I'll come show you real quick. Someone in our neighborhood had a tree come down in the ice storm, and so we have gotten a large quantity of wood that I have been splitting. It's very straight grained and easy and enjoyable to split.
I make it a point to never buy wood. I only get wood that I can source for free off Craigslist or free piles by the road. And that means I have a mix of coniferous wood like the wood you see here and some other hardwoods. Coniferous wood is really good for starting your fire. It's resinous and a relatively low BTU, so it can't be the only wood that I stock up on, but it is a good thing to have in my wood pile.
So even though there aren't a lot of things to do in the garden because everything is still sleeping, everything is still slumbering and saying like, hang on, it's not time to wake us up yet. In fact, our last frost date isn't until April. So we have a long time until it's really gardening season. There's just the maintenance aspects in the garden, or as I've said previously, just do nothing at all right now in January if you want. If you wanted to get a jump start on next year's firewood, and you feel like doing that, cold weather is a wonderful time to split wood because you really warm yourself up doing it and it doesn't feel so chilly outside. I hate splitting wood. In the summer, I get very overheated, but in January, it's really fun. I just put on a podcast and I'm out here splitting until my shoulders get too tired to keep going. Things like digging up those plants that you might want to move or get rid of. Things like that late winter orchard pruning. That's what you can be working on right now, but you can also choose, again, to do absolutely nothing. That's okay as well. And for many of you, you are in climates where there is nothing to do right now because you have significant depths of snow around you or the ground is too frozen to be working. So there's those projects in the house, either garden planning for next year or those kind of domestic-y things, those crafty things. Spend that time right now reading novels, enjoying your family, playing board games. You don't have to spend that time focusing on your garden. Permaculture gardening is just one aspect of your entire life, right? It doesn't have to be your entire life to be successful. And in fact, it shouldn't consume all of your time. The whole point of permaculture design, I'm a little chilly here. The whole point of permaculture design is that it should free up more time in your schedule. You don't have to spend all of your hours laboring in your garden. You should have more free time for the other things that you enjoy, the people that you enjoy in your life. So as you're thinking about what to do here for the rest of January and into February, take time for those connections with the folks that you love and care for. Take time to connect with yourself. Take time for downtime. And if you are able, pick up some of those outdoor chores. If not, it's not crucial. That's okay. They'll be waiting when you are ready. Thanks for watching today. I'll be back really soon. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'm almost to 30,000 subscribers. Thanks.